Morning everyone, welcome to our Totalsports swimming specific strength and conditioning and prehab. My name is Ciara and I'm a biokineticist here at the Sports Science Institute in Cape Town. We're going to get going with our session, but before we do, there's a bit of equipment that you need. So you're going to need an elastic band, any type of band will work, and then also two light weights. So if you have dumbbells, that'll be perfect, 1 to 2 kgs. Otherwise you can use water bottles that are filled up with water or tins of food. Anything that can simulate the weight, and then just a bottle of water for you and a sweat towel if you need it. And then if you do have an exercise mat, otherwise something soft to put on the floor like a towel or a carpet. Okay, and then if there is anyone with any injuries, please don't work through pain with any of the exercises. You can leave them out or modify them if you need to, and just make sure you protect yourself. Okay, so we're just gonna start with a warm up, nice easy march on the spot. Okay, and then going to high knees. Okay, and then you're going to kick your legs out across your body. Okay, and then going to a jog on the spot. Okay, and then you're going to be going to some butt kicks. Okay, easy jog again. Okay, and then you're going to do 10 jumping jacks. And easy jog again. And relax. Okay, next bit, you can hold on to something if you need to just for balance. You're going to do 10 swings of each leg forwards and backwards. Okay, 10 per leg. Okay, and then you can still hold on to something if you need to, but we're going to do 10 swings across the body as well. Okay, outside. Good. Okay, and then 10 chest openers, so keep those arms nice and loose. Swing them open and closed. Okay, and then 10 up and down. And 10. Okay, then you're going to pop your hands on your shoulders, and we're going to do 10 alternating circles with the elbows going forward. And then 10 alternating going backwards. Good. Okay, then we're just going to do a set of 3 roll downs and moving into an inchworm. So starting with the head, you're going to nod the head around the shoulders and slowly roll down as slowly as possible, so only one vertebra bending at a time. And you're going to just hang in this position with the knees slightly bent. Notice where you feel the stretch, and then you're going to walk your hands out into a plank position, and then walk your hands back in, and slowly roll back up. Okay, you're going to do 2 more of those. On the third one, you're not going to walk back up from your plank. You can stay in the plank position. Okay, last one. Rolling down and then walking out into your plank and staying there. Okay, then from here you're going to push back into a pike position, pushing your hips into the sky, and then striding forward with your right foot. Try to get your right foot next to your right hand, and back leg is nice and straight, and then alternating sides, and you're going to do 5 on each side. Okay, then going back into your plank position, you're going to do opposite toe touches. So you're going to go push into your pike and take your right hand to touch your left foot, and back into the plank between each one. 5 on each side, alternating sides. Good. Okay, then you can pop your knees on the floor, and in your 4-point kneeling position with your hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, we're going to do a thread the needle, 5 on each side. So you're bending right arm, letting your left hand move through that hole till your left shoulder's on the floor, and then you're going to open up, looking up at your left hand that opens. 5 on each side. Okay, then we're just going to sit back into your child's pose, feet and knees together, and then you're going to come forward and down into your cobra as far as you can manage. You don't have to have your hips touching the floor, and you're just going to alternate between those 2 positions, doing 5 of each. Okay, and then last one, onto your back, and we're going to have our arms out to the side for support, knees up off, or feet up off the floor, knees and ankles touching, and then you're slowly rolling your knees from side to side, controlling the movement with your core, mostly your obliques. Okay, only go as far as you can while keeping both shoulders on the floor. Also 5 per side. Good. Okay, you can grab some water if you need to. I'm going to explain our first set. For the first set, all you need is your elastic band. Okay, but not for the first exercise, so just keep it on the side. Okay, so for the first exercise, we're going to be back in our 4-point kneeling position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Keeping that back in a neutral spine, so don't let your back arch, mostly in the lower back position. You want to keep that back nice and straight or neutral, and then shoulders or chest pushed away from the floor. Okay, from there you're going to extend the one leg back so that your toes are resting on the floor, and then using the glutes and hamstrings, keeping your back still and straight, you're just lifting that foot up so that the heel ends up at hip height, and slowly controlling it back down. Okay, we're doing 10 per side of those. Okay, other side. Core should be engaged to keep that spine in neutral. And you're also trying to not shift your weight too much onto the one side. Good. Okay, then you can grab your band and you're going to hold your band on either end. Okay, and then from there, we're going to do an around the world movement, so working on opening the chest and the shoulders. Starting from this position with the band resting on your thighs, you're going to lift your right hand up and you're going to try to keep both arms straight the whole time through this movement. Right hand is going to just circle around your head so that both hands end up at the back, and then the left hand is going to follow, bringing both hands to the front, or the band to the front. Okay, so you're going to do 5 on each side of those. So 5 with the right hand leading, and then 5 with the left hand leading. Okay, changing over to the other side. So now our left hand is leading. Good. Okay, then we'll put the band down and we're going to go back into that 4-point kneeling position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and then from there you're going to lift the knees just off the floor, so maybe 5 centimeters off the floor, and then you're going to take right hand to right shoulder, left hand to left shoulder, right heel to right bum, left heel to left bum. Okay, that counts as 1 rep. You're going to be doing 5 of those in total. Okay, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, but the main thing here is to keep your hips as stable as possible, so they shouldn't be rocking around like that when you're lifting any limb. Keep those hips nice and low as well. Good. Okay, so that was 1 set. We're going to do 1 more set of each. So starting off with our kneeling hip extensions. So take that one leg straight out, and then lifting up to hip height, working through the glutes and hamstrings. Okay, 10 of each. Good, change over. Okay, then you can grab your band for our around the world movement. Holding either end of the band, and remember, doing 5 with each side leading. Okay, and left hand leading. Good. Okay, and then it's your dynamic fury plank. Remember, keeping your hips stable and low. 5 on each side. Okay, so that was our activation set. You can grab some water if you need to, and then I'm going to start explaining our first main set. Okay, for this main set, you're going to need your bands and your weight. Okay, so just grabbing your small weights for this set as well. And we're going to start off with our bands for the first exercise. And we're going to be doing a stationary lunge against band resistance. Okay, so holding the band on either end. If you have a closed loop band like me, it creates 2 nice handles on either side. If you have a normal TheraBand, just hold each end of your TheraBand. Okay, so you can stand over the middle of the band with your front foot, and then making sure in that position already that you are pulling up against the resistance of the band, but arms stay locked and straight, and shoulders are pulled back and locked down. Okay, so you want to pull your shoulder blades into the opposite back pockets, and keeping those controlled and kind of set for the movement. You're going back into your lunge, and then down and up, standing up against the resistance of the band at that last little end range. Okay, so make sure that both knees end up at 90 degrees when you're in that position, and you don't want that front knee to be pushing over your toes. Okay, so try to set the hips down and backwards. Okay, so you're doing 8 per leg of these. Okay, remember, you're not pulling or squeezing up with the shoulders at any point. Take the shoulders locked back and down. Per leg. And remember, you want that knee moving in the same direction as the toes, so don't let your knee collapse in or out as you're standing up and down. Okay, switching to the other side. And 8. Good. Okay, then you're going to grab your weights. I'm going to show you just in this front on position so that you can see the angle of my hands, but you're going to be doing it lying on your tummy, and we're going to be doing prone, weighted, T's and V's. Okay, so basically you're forming a T and a V with your arms. So the first one for the T, you're going to have arms out to the side in line with your shoulders, and pinkies or thumbs pointing down, so pinkies are pointing up, whichever way, holding your dumbbells, and then you're just doing small pulses up and down, squeezing the shoulder blades together so that you lift the dumbbells off the floor. And then dropping your hands to just wide of your hips, so in a kind of 45 degrees from the hips, thumbs still pointing down, doing squeezes up and down with the dumbbells, so you're making a kind of arrowhead. Okay, so you're doing it lying on your tummy, dumbbell in each hand, and then your chin is tucked in and looking to the floor, but hovering just off the floor, and then doing your weighted T's and V's. You're doing 10 of each. Okay, remember it's just a small pulse. If it's too difficult to do with the weights, you can just do it without the weights as well. Good. Okay, so it's just that small quick pulse. Okay, then we're rolling over onto our back for the core component. Okay, and this one is going to be alternating between a bent knee crunch and a straight leg crunch, and we're doing 5 of each on each side. So you'll have the right leg extended, left knee bent, and then right arm is out to the side for support, so I'll do it the other way so you can see. Okay, and then to start off with, you're going to do basically a bicycle crunch, but only on one side. So take your right elbow to your left knee, crunching out, or across your body, and then doing the same thing but with a straight arm and leg. So you're alternating between the bent and the straight. Okay, you can see I'm not going into a full crunch, lifting off the floor, just keeping the head lifted so that you're working those upper abdominals, and then the movement of the leg will be working the lower abdominals. Okay, 5 of each. Okay, switch to the other side. Good. Okay, so that's our first set done. We'll grab some water and then we're going to start the second set. We're doing 3 sets in total. Okay, so you're starting with those resisted stationary lunges. So you can grab your band and then start off when you're ready. I'm just going to go straight into it. Okay, we're doing 8 per leg of these. I'm losing my balance. Remember, your shoulders are pulled back into those opposite back pockets. Good. Okay, then you're on your tummy on the floor with your weight, doing 10 each of the T's and V's. Okay, and remember, thumbs pointing down for both of them. Good. Okay, and then you can roll over onto your back for the core component, doing our alternating bent and straight leg crunch. Okay, so remember you've got opposite arm and leg working and the other opposite arm and leg is stabilizing. 5 of each. Okay, other side. Good. Okay, so that was our second set done. Have a quick sip of water, and then we're going to do the last set. Okay, so standing up, starting off with those band resisted stationary lunges. You're doing 8 per leg. And another thing with those lunges, you should be getting it right because the shoulder should be locked back. But as you go down into your lunge, you don't want your upper body to fall forward. And last one. grab your weight for the prone T's and V's. Okay, thumbs pointing down, doing 10 T's, 10 V's. Remember, it's just a small pulse, so you don't have to do a high lift off the floor. Okay, and then rolling over for your crunch, or crunches. Okay, remember you're doing 5 of each on each side for this. This is our last set. Okay, other side. Well done. Okay, so that was our first main set done. We did 3 sets of those exercises. So grab some water, and then I'm going to explain the second set. Okay, so for this second set, you're going to need both equipment, or both pieces of equipment as well. You only need 1 dumbbell though, so you can just pop the one to the side. So first exercise, you don't need anything. You're going to be lying on our backs. Okay, arms out to the side for support, and you're going to have your feet hip width apart. So if you don't know how to figure that out, pop your feet together, and then keeping the toes together, just open the ankles, and then open the toes to be in line with the ankles. It's more or less hip width apart. You don't need to put it too wide. Okay, then from there, you can lift the toes up off the floor, so you're pushing through your heels, rolling up into your bridge, and then we're going to keep lifted, or stay lifted in that bridge position, and you're going to do hamstring walker. So taking 1 step out with the right leg, 1 step out with the left leg to follow, and then back in. Okay, you can go out as far as you can manage, but you want to keep your hips up, and keep the hips stable. So don't let the hips rock around like that as you move your feet out and in. Okay, we're doing 6 per leg of these, so 6 with the right leg leading, 6 with the left leg leading. Off you go. Nice and slow. Okay, changing sides. Good, and slowly roll back down, and then you can sit up. Okay, second exercise, we're using our band. You're going to do a band resisted chest press. So for this one, in a kneeling or standing position, it doesn't really matter. You're going to take your band and pop it behind your back. Okay, so if I show you from the back, it's just at the bottom of your shoulder blades, so that the band can come under your armpits. Okay, it's the easiest way without the band flipping over your elbows. And then from there, holding the band in your hands. If you have 2 TheraBands, you can just grip onto the end. If you have a closed band like I do, hook your hands into their handles. Okay, then from there you're pushing forward against resistance of the band, keeping your elbows up. So from there, pushing forward to bring the hands together, and slowly controlling back so that the hands end up wide. Okay, so we're doing 10 of those. Good. Okay, then you're going to grab your 1 dumbbell. If you have heavier ones, you can go slightly heavier, but try not to go more than 4 or 5 kgs. Okay, so with the dumbbell, you're going to pop it on your right or left knee, and then hold with the other end with the right hand. So you're pressing opposite knee and hand into each other. And throughout the exercise, you really want to be pushing those two and squeezing those two together. So you try kind of picture squishing the dumbbell. And then from there, the other knee and arm is going to be up, and you're going to extend those, and then slowly bring them back in. Extend, and slowly bring them back in. Okay, so you're doing 6 per side of those, but remember, the whole time you're putting force into that dumbbell with the knee and hand. Okay, other side. Good. Okay, I'll give you a modification with that one if you want to make it a bit more difficult on the next set. Okay, so have a sip of water, and then you're going to go into round 2. Okay, so it's our hamstring walkout, 6 per leg. Remember, you're keeping those hips lifted throughout the movement. Hips are nice and stable as well. Good. Okay, then grabbing your band for your band resisted chest press. Okay, so remember you want the band right underneath your armpits so you can get that optimal movement. Okay, 10 of these each, or 10 in total. And last one. Good. Okay, and then you can grab that dumbbell again for your asymmetric dead bugs. Okay, so opposite hand pressing the dumbbell into the opposite knee, and then you have the other hand and arm moving out and in. Sorry, hand and leg. So the modification for this one, if you want to make it a bit more difficult, you can just pop the head up, tuck your chin in to your chest, and look towards your belly button. Being 6 per side. Good. Okay, up you get. Grab a sip of water, and we've got one last set. Okay, starting off with the hamstring walkouts on your back. Okay, remember this is also 6 per side. And slowly roll back down. Good. Okay, onto our chest press. 10 of these. And 10. Good. Okay, and then last set is the dead bug with your dumbbell on your back. Okay, remember it's your choice. You can have your head up or resting on the floor. And other side. Good. Okay, that's our second big set done. So you can pop your equipment to the side. We're not going to need it for the next, or for the last set at least. Okay, last sip of water. And then we're going to do a bit of a conditioning set. So for this one, we've got 2 exercises. First exercise, we're going to be doing Pogo Hops. So just working on that explosivity through the legs. So kind of imagine yourself diving with a diving block, or after your tumble turn, pushing off the wall underwater. It's that same or similar sort of work happening through the legs. Okay, so we're going to have hands on the hips, and you're doing a slight bend in the knee to land on each one, but you're not going down into a full squat. Okay, so the slight bend is just to absorb that force through the legs. So you want to try jump as high as possible, but also spend as little time on the floor as possible. Okay, so just small hops up and down like that. Okay, you're doing 8 of those. And then down onto the floor on your tummy, we're going to be doing prone swimming. So arms out in front of you with the thumbs pointing up, legs lifted, toes pointed. Okay, and then you're going to keep the arms and legs as straight as possible as you flutter them up and down, like that. Okay, and then head is looking down to the floor with the chin tucked in. Okay, that you're doing 20 per side, or 20 per leg or arm. So only count your arm and legs, otherwise it gets very confusing. So just keep them moving as quickly as possible as you move them up and down. Okay, we're doing 3 sets. You want to try to take as little rest in between the sets as possible. Okay, and still trying to keep the control throughout. So don't just rush through the exercise to try to get it done quickly. You want to do it properly, but still with a bit of speed. Okay, 8 Pogo Hops and then 20 prone swimming per side. We're doing 3 sets. When you're ready, you can go. Good. Okay, down for the prone swimming. Okay, up you get for your second set. Okay, 8 Pogo Hops and then down for your prone swimming. Okay, and last set. Good. And last set of your prone swimming. Try and get those arms and legs to move as quickly as possible. Done. Okay, so that's all the hard work done. We're just going to go into a quick stretch, so onto your back first. Okay, you're just going to stretch those arms and legs out so that you're nice and tall. Okay, and then bring your right knee into your chest. Okay, and then twisting over, pulling the knee across the body, try to keep both shoulders on the floor. Okay, and then take that right leg straight up, holding behind your leg, toes are curled back, and you pull it in as far as you can manage. You should feel it stretching the calves and hamstrings. Okay, and then you're going to press right ankle onto the left knee, and then holding behind the left leg, bringing knees into the chest for a figure 4 glute stretch. Should be feeling it stretching in your right glute. Okay, then bring the left knee into the chest. Okay, and then left knee across the body, keeping both shoulders on the floor. Okay, and then left leg straight up. Okay, and into your figure 4, so left ankle onto the right knee, and bring it into your chest. Okay, and then you can sit up. You're going to go into a half kneeling lunge position. Okay, stretching out the hip flexors a bit, so activate that back glute, put your back foot down into the floor, and then slightly lean forward, and you should feel it stretching in your hip flexors. Okay, and you're also trying to kind of tuck your pelvis under and tilt it forward. Okay, changing to the other side. Okay, and then last one, just stretch the upper body a bit, so pulling your arm across your body, keeping it straight, but you want to try to pull your shoulder down and away from your ears. side. And relax. Well done everyone, thanks so much for joining. If you have any questions about the session or anything, any other questions, please feel free to email me at cbotha@cisa.com. Hopefully I'll be able to help answer those questions. And then I will see you next week Friday for another session. Enjoy your weekend.